once again.
Hello again, here it's Jimmy at O'Reilly's Mobile Mechanic. We have back a Jaguar F Pace. You might have seen this on our last video here, or it was on one of our videos from a few weeks back. So the car has been fine for a while, but it's now come back with another fault. So it's got the same faults as before there. It had the soot restriction on the DPF and the turbo overboost. If you've seen in our last video there, you can check it out in our other videos there. We have taken off this inlet pipe to the intake manifold and the flap inside was sticking, and we have fixed that issue, but the problem's come back. We've done a lot of research for this car, and there is another issue that can cause turbo overboost, and then that also triggers off the DPF soot restriction, and it is this piece down here. It's the crankcase oil separator. Here's the new piece here. This is what it looks like when it's off the car. So we're going to get this fitted on, and this should be the end of the problem. We've done a lot of research on this, and we've seen a lot of other people with stories of Jaguar themselves changing the turbo, changing the DPF, coming up with £6 bills for the turbo. More on top of that, people have spent £10,000 trying to get to the bottom of this problem, and the end result was Jaguar themselves can't really give an answer for it, but it relates back to this part here. I'm not really sure myself why this would cause turbo overboost, but apparently it does on these, and there's dozens of people that have had the problem fixed by just replacing this part. So I'm just going to use a T30 Torx there to get that bolt out. I'm just going to remove this wire and loom from the top of the engine here, just get it out of the way. And it looks like we've got another one on the opposite side here. We've got a 8mm bolt here, looks like. Get this open, looks like that's holding it down as well. Now just down the back, we've got another bolt here. Can't get my electric ratchet on there, so it looks like I'm going to have to use some wrist action for once. We'll get this open. Now I'm just going to separate this case in here to hopefully just make it a little bit easier to move these wires. Just rest that back over there, and now this can be removed. Give us a little bit of access into the breather here. And if we're just looking at this clip here, it looks like somebody's already been butchering at this. It's got a lot of scratches on it, so it looks like somebody's already been messing around with this before for some reason, maybe the same reason, but you can see it's not a new part, it's an old part. Got the good old Peugeot Citroen logo on it there. I'm just going to use some hose clip pliers there to get this clip off, and we can just slide it out. We've got that inlet pipe there just tucked out of the way. I'm going to use some fuel line pliers just because they're a perfect match for this really, and you can just slip them over the little lip there. It's got a little lip there on it, and you just grab it. So you're just going to need to give this a good hard pull, and it will just pull up. It might be quite stiff like. And there we have it out. Just had to give it quite a hard pull, and there it is, it's out. Now we're just going to make sure that all of the area down here is nice and clean, ready for the new part to go in. I'm just using our little brush here just to brush up all of these areas so they go in nice and smoothly and don't damage the seals there. It's a case of just pushing it down, it just slides back in nice and easy there once you've got grease on it. That's it. We've just positioned the wire loom back, put in the T30 bolts and the two 8mm bolts there and there. Just get our casing back on, and it slips in the back there first, you can see there, and then this clips back down in the front. Once you've got it leveled up straight, there you go. Okay, so the only code we've got on this is the P2463, which is the particle filter, but apparently this oil separator is what causes that issue. It's a bit hard for me to say on this one because this customer himself, he's got his own diagnostic computer and he's cleared the code which he said was back for the turbo overboost. But we're going to open back up the inlet flap and just make sure that that flap is still moving and it's working okay. I've just unplugged the plug from here and the breather hose from here. Now we're going to open these 7mm got two of them here. To move this wire and loom here, you've got another little 10mm here, and that'll just give us a little bit of play on the throttle there, just to wiggle it about so we can get it off. Pulled out that clip there, so I'm just going to go into the throttle valve there. So I'm going to reset the adaptation values for it. And we can see it moving there. It's opening and closing fine. Okay, so we can press OK on that. So again, we're just opening the pressure sensor here for the clean the DPF. Just connecting up our holes. Then we can just pump it all in. Now we're just going to clear out the DPF here. We're holding on some revs. We've got the fluid in there. So the grams of soot are down to 0 and the back pressure there is at 0 as well. Okay, so that's all done on that end, and now we are just going to change the customer's brake pads, the rears and the fronts, and we're not going to post this video for a few weeks until we've had confirmation that this has fixed the fault, and we'll see you then.